Okay, screen visible है? Start करूँ?
Yes, sir.
All right. So this is lecture number 12, and in this lecture we will cover some shell commands. We have already discussed shell commands part 1, in which we have discussed 3 or 4 commands, I think. So we will continue from this lecture. So let's begin the session. Shell commands part 2. So we have already discussed about ls command, that is used for listing files and directories. Then we will look at date command, which used for displaying date and time currently running on server. Then we have discussed who command, currently how many number of users logged in with the server. So who command gives the display of total number of users that are currently logged with the server. Then the fourth command, which we have discussed in earlier session, that is calendar command. And calendar command for displaying calendar of particular year and month. So whatever the request given by the user that I want to see the calendar of that particular month and year, so it will be displayed by calendar command. Now in this session we will cover some more commands like ps, which is a process status command. So if any user wants that how many processes are currently running by operating system and by user, so ps will help us to identify total number of processes currently running on Linux server and users. So for getting the list of process details, we strike the ps command in our terminal. The syntax is $ps. PS stand for process status. Process states, right? So let's apply on our terminal. So this is our IP address of Linux server, and this is the way how to connect Telnet server by using Windows operating system. So Telnet is a protocol by which we can connect our Windows machine to the Linux machine. So any machine which are stored, which are situated at remote side, at remote location, we can connect by telling in this way: telnet space 192.168.1.6. If you click on OK, our window machine start connecting with the server 192.168.1.6. Right, we have connected. So it is asking about login and password. So we have already created my user accounts in Linux server. So I will put my credential login detail. So login ID is 1 and password is. So this is successfully logged in. My PC, my IP address of my PC is 192.168.1.47, and this is the time, date and time of currently running on server. And this is dollar prompt, which is nothing, just a shell provided by Linux kernel. to user account 1, and PGI is my user account. So here we put the command ps. Just I want to know how many process currently I am running. So ps enter, you will get two different status. There are two processes which are currently running on machine. First is bash and second is ps. Because first I will start my shell command, shell terminal, or we can say shell command interpreter. So this is a bash process, born again shell. So this black terminal is called born again shell. So it is a command interpreter which takes input and process it by kernel, and kernel will transfer output to this terminal. So first process is bash, that is the name of shell. So very first process, that is bash, and the second command we have fired ps, process states. So there are two processes currently running on my machine. So it is the detail process ID, terminal name, terminal number, date and time. It is not compulsory to show the date and time, therefore it is displaying 00. And the command or a process which we are running on Linux server is bash and ps. So it is a process ID 2251, that is the process ID of bash, that is the shell program, and 2278 is the process ID of our process ps. So every commands which are already built in Linux kernel, it becomes the process when it executes. And I told you about the process and program. So some programs are stored in hard disk, but at the time of execution, that program become process. Similarly, in Linux operating system, there are a portion called core operating system, that is the kernel, which having number of commands, internal and external set of commands. But at the time of execution, that command becomes the process. So during the execution, every process getting a unique ID called process ID. And every process running on different terminal. That's why the terminal name is PTS and the terminal number is 0. Because it is running by a single user, so single user gets a single terminal and its number. But it may be possible that there are so many users connected with the Linux server. So every user having different terminal name and every user having different terminal number. So this is the status of process states command. Let's move on. Next is WC, word count command. That is, if you want to find out the total number of word, total number of character, and total number of lines for a given file. So what we will give, we will give a input, we will give a file name as an input, and I want to find out how many characters are there, how many words are there, and how many lines are there. So in order to achieve this, we have given a command by Linux, that is WC. Now here we have three symbols, parameters, we can say -l WC. So WC is the name of command, -l WC is the name of parameters, and the file is the name of file in which we want to get total number of lines, total number of word, and total number of character. So suppose we want all these things, total number of line, word, and character, so we can follow all the parameters directly. But suppose we want to get total number of line to the given file, so we have only put only single character, that is -l. Suppose we want to count total number of words for a given file, so we will give a single parameter w. Similarly, if we want to count a total number of character or bytes, we will give a single character, single parameter that is called C. So remember, every command followed by some parameters and followed by the name of source file. There must be a single space between command and parameter, parameter and file. So there must be a single space between two things. So let's apply this command. We will create a file and we put some data on that file and we will try to count how many characters we have entered, how many lines we have entered, and how many words we have entered. So let's do it. First, we will clear the command by clear the terminal by putting clear command so that you will get the proper display of WC command. So we required a single file for WC command. Let's create a new file, cat greater than file1. Now, as you press enter, it will asking if you want to write the data on that file1. So yes, I want to write some data in my file1. So let's write some data. This is my first Linux text file. Then press enter. Your cursor should be in new line. That is to be remember. If cursor is not in new line, then there is no content should be saved in file1. Because as you enter and the cursor reaches from the current cursor position to the new line, cat understand we have to store that particular line in file1. So the cursor should be raised in the new line. And for saving, you have to press Ctrl plus D. And as you press Ctrl plus D, the file will saved successfully and your cursor redirect to the dollar prompt. So this indicates our file saved successfully. Now let's check it, file created or not. So for checking the files that we have already created, so whether it is created or not, ls, that is the output of ls command, and find out the file 1. Let's ascending order and descending order. We can apply the ascending and descending order. Okay. ls des r So this is our file, file 1, and we want to see the content of file 1. So that was the content of my file. This is my first Linux text file. So yes, it is created. Now I want to count the total number of line. So we have seen that we have entered only single line. Therefore, WC, that is the name of command, followed by the parameters. I want to check only the total number of line in my file, followed by the source file, that is file 1. As I press enter, it will display that there is only single line in my file, file 1. Similarly, suppose I want to check how many words in file 1. So as you press enter, we have seen there are 7 words in file 1. So first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, 7. So there are total 7 words in a given file 1. In the same way, suppose we want to count the total number of character. So you have to give parameter c hyphen c. So wc followed by hyphen c followed by the source file name. So it gives total 34 characters exist in file 1. And suppose if we forget to give a parameter, so default it will print everything. That is the first parameter, the first output is total number of line, then second output is total number of word, then third is total number of characters, and fourth one is name of file. The default output, the output very specific manner. Linux machine. Let's move on. Create a new file. Control plus Z, Control plus D. Am I audible? Hello. The next and according to our syllabus is uname. Uname to display. Suppose we want to get the name of machine on which I am working. I want to display the name of users that are currently logged in by me and the kernel version that are using by user. So in order to achieve this, in order to display this kind, we use uname. So let's do it. Uname. With Linux machine, that is the name of kernel. So it shows the Linux. You can check the manual of uname and you will get there are so many options. Every command having its manual.
Sir,
If you
screen
want
is
to
not
go on
visible.
depth for a particular command, okay, just wait. Well,
No, sir.
now it is visible.
Yes, sir.
So we have which display the information about machine, about user, about kernel version. So let's display one by one. So this is the manual command, a kind of help for dash a parameters print all the information, print as a dash s parameter. It will print the kernel name, dash n which print the node name or a host name, we can say. Dash r, it will show the kernel release, shows kernel version. Many options, by pressing enter you can see so many options are there. So let's try by 2 or 3 parameters. Suppose we want to know the name of kernel. So by moving, press terminal by putting clear command, and then followed by S. It will display the name of our machine or name of our kernel. So we are using Linux kernel. It will display the name of kernel. Similarly, uname followed by dash n. It will display the name of node or a host name. So our host name is pgi.org. Every machine having its own name, that is called host name. So to identify in a network, we provide a host name to a machine. So pgi.org, that is the host name, that is the name of machine. So uname space dash and display the host name of my machine. Similarly, uname dash r, it will display the version of kernel that I am creating. So Linux kernel version is 2. ओके, आवाज आ रही है मेरी सभी को? Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. So we have run so many parameters in uname command. So now you are familiar what is the output of uname command. So we can print the name of kernel, name of machine, version of kernel, processor types, and so many things. Let's move on. After uname, there is a command pwd, print working directory. P print, W working, D directory. So print working directory, or we can say current working directory.